All right, folks, good evening, or evening for us here in the eastern U.S. We're going to do another paint session here, and we haven't been able to paint since the weekend, so looking forward to that. But let me get a couple things straightened out here. If you guys look at that thumbnail, I cleaned up my painting area significantly. Not that it was that messy to begin with, but did clean it up quite a bit. So here we got our wet palette here, and we're going to get ourselves a little paper towel here for our brushes, and we're going to get to it. Now, last time we were painting, we left off with the Irish auxilia that we were working on. That's what we've been working on right now. So, if you guys want to turn over to see where... Sorry, I'm still... and let's get the light out of the way. This is the stuff that we're working on right now. These are the Irish so far. Here's where they're staging right now, and we've got 9 of these guys to do. I've only managed to get 1.5 complete, so we're going to finish the half now, and go from there. So let's get rid of this. We got water here. We're going to do something a little bit different that we kind of did this weekend, and that's using this the Vallejo airbrush thinner as our thinner here to when I need to re-wet the brush, and it seemed to work really well for that. So, all right, so let's take this thing off. Enough of the preamble. And we might just replace this. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll be right back. We're going to go ahead and replace this wet palette skin. All right, so what I've been doing is every time I've been switching this out, I've gone ahead and washed this the sponge with some antibacterial soap, and that works pretty well to keep the mustiness out of there, and because it did accumulate a little bit of mold, very, very minor. And I'm not worried about health issues. I'm just worried about I don't want to smell it. So we're going to normally try to get the sponge as wet as possible and just put that down. Get these papers out. What am I down to? I may be down to like 30 of them. This everlasting wet palette came with like 50, and I probably used 20. I don't think I've used more than that. So we should be good to go until they have another convention, and then we can buy some more at a convention, because I don't want to pay shipping on that. That just seems senseless. All right. Let's lose the glasses so we can see what the hell we're doing. Let's put the power cord back here. I'm always charging the phone while I'm doing this. And yeah, when I'm done filming, I usually have I have a full battery every time. All right, so we got this here and this here, and let's move this a little bit more because I'm going to be working on what I'm working on. It's going to be just like this. Let's move this all the way to the end. All right. All right, that's probably okay. These are second tier type brushes that we were using for terrain. That's why we're out here. Some of the latest stuff we worked on was terrain. So we'll get this guy out here too. And let's see what this guy's looking like. Yep, that's one of the other ones. All right. Okay, now, this is the one guy that we got done. This guy in particular. This Auxilia. So he's gonna have to join me as a buddy, which is this one right here. And that's what we're gonna do next. Let's, I don't know what speed it's on, but let's go up to like 4. That's right, I've been hot all day, that stops now. Okay, what did we leave off on this guy? We started doing some of his flesh, but we didn't finish it. We've got his hair and so forth. All right, let's go get Tony's flesh mix colors. So, all together now, if you guys don't know what it is, it's leather brown, good old black, white, and sunny skin tone. Right in the middle of the palette here. So we'll use them from all angles. So we'll put some black there. I'm going to use some white. Now there is some terrain that I plan on working on this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to be going out of town or not this weekend. But if I do not go out of town, I will be building some woods. All right, so we're gonna try to do that live and, you know, kind of experiment, you know. I've 2 other kind of woods before, and I'm gonna build a different kind this time. So, right, let's put that there. I'm not gonna make it so you can remove the trees. I'm gonna make it a little bit more like the set that Mitch has with, you've got the bushes that are permanently attached there, but you know, we got these Irish guys that are going to be, they're a forest army, they're going to be done soon, and they can actually have 3 woods, so we're going to build some woods for them, and we've got some materials just for that. So all right, let's put this stuff away. Let me try being a little bit more disciplined about it this time. Just helps some of the clutter. Right. All right. All right, we're gonna grab this guy and, all right, I missed a little bit on his leg here on this side, so let's go ahead and knock that out while we're at it. I'm not gonna go as dark as I normally go because I've already done some of this work. I just basically stopped because I was done painting out. So I'm gonna use this to hold that down. Ah, damn it, the lamp's in the way. Oh well. Right, we're just gonna finish up a little bit that's on this guy. Something's wrong here. I know what it is. This needs to go, here. And then this needs to go all the way to the edge. And then this can come back a little bit. Now's not the time to start painting a little. I literally took this entire desk apart. If you guys want to look at the thumbnail when you click on this thing, that's what my painting area looks like. It is really clear of other distractions. So I want to keep it that way, and as long as I can. But the reason I tore it all up is I'd been looking for like a caddy to put on the right hand side to put all my brushes and stuff in, and terrain, and I actually had like these cubbies that were off to the side that I would keep like my basing mix and all that kind of stuff in it, and it was just falling every time I'd have to move 3 things out of the way to get to one, and that annoys the crap out of me. You know, to pull one thing out and something would fall on the floor, and so I went to the I think it was on Sunday. On Sunday we went to Michael's, and they had this little caddy that you can like wheel around and everything, and it stands about, it's about what I was looking for. I was wanting to get out to IKEA and see what they had out there, because Michael's, and was able to clear off so much of the stuff here. So good morning. So yeah, that's able to keep the clutter down significantly. All right, so let's let's go back to this tone here, which just before we start adding this sunny skin tone on this guy. Now the casting, this is an old Mike's Models Renaissance Irish Kern guy, and I have a feeling this casting's probably every bit of 40 years old. So he's just getting some love now. And, you know, they have kind of a unique look, but so do so many other manufacturers that I don't necessarily have a problem with. And we're going to do something interesting with this stand. We're going to mix some figures that are really disproportionate. You got this guy, it's like this, and then we've got, look at this giant here. That guy's significantly bigger for a museum. He's going to be the giant. I'm not afraid of mixing figures together. Let's just do some highlighting here. And I think we said this guy was going to be blonde on Sunday. We made that determination. So this has been my first opportunity since Sunday to paint. Monday was a game day, filmed a video. And then yesterday, edited it and uploaded it while I was waiting for the daughter to get off swim practice. And then today we're painting. So there you have it. That's why, another reason I try to get as much painting on the weekends as I can, because I'm guaranteed to have 3 hours or so uninterrupted in the mornings, no matter what. So, all right, so we're kind of done with this here. Let's add the sunny skin tone to it. And I'm a morning painter. I'm tired right now. Let's just put it this way. If I wasn't filming, I wouldn't be painting. So we filmed the battle on Monday. If you guys haven't seen that yet, what are you doing here watching this? Joe came over to my house, and well, we used to game all the time. Yeah, this was the default location, and then things got too popular. Mitch needed to babysit while we gamed, so that was kind of a reason we ended up going over there. Okay. This figure does not rinse, so. Will I be doing the Mark III Woods live stream? That's the plan. So there's a couple of steps I have to do before we start filming them. We're going to, we're going to cut out the cardboard and glue it together and put filler on the end, paint it black, and that's probably where I'll start the live stream because there's no point in showing you stuff that's like, okay, I'll be back in 15 minutes, and I go to the garage to do that stuff. So you guys aren't interested in them. You guys are big boys. You can handle how to spray paint something black. If not, you got bigger issues. I'm sticking with this. I can actually play the Irish Army the way it is. But I'm going to go ahead and finish these Auxilia, at least for now, that's what I'm thinking I'm doing. And I'm going to do the Ally, and then we'll switch to the next army, although I'm like ready to hit the ground running with them. So. We're going to have to switch to something else. Because I'm getting a lot of, it's not behaving well. Let's get in here. Let's get in here and make it happen. What I noticed by using this airbrush thinner is instead of wetting the brush, which I do quite frequently with water, I'm using this thinner, and what it seems like what it's allowing to do is accumulating this paint that's drying on it fast and clumping up. And that didn't used to ever happen to me, and all of a sudden it's happening. Well, it didn't happen over the weekend, but before that it did, and it just kind of slows me down having to deal with that. So too much buffering today for him. Okay, well, we'll catch you next time. Yeah, if you don't catch this live, it will be available later, but it's not available as far as I can tell in the full resolution for about a day after I film it, because it's got to, as soon as I turn this thing off, it starts doing like this processing. It'll process everything you've seen in the first video quality, and then it'll go a little bit better video quality. So it'll do everything in like 240, and then it'll go to 480, and then it'll go to 720 finally at the end. So I'm supposed to be able to get 1080 on here, but I've heard that because of the constant demand on the internet, I don't think anybody's been getting it. But I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it too much. We're going to do our video, and it'll come in the best quality that it can come in. Okay. Is that a little lightener in there? Now let's compare to the other one. I don't think I need to go much up any more than that. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and knock these guys out. But normally in other years I would have just like, oh, I got a way to play the army. Let's just move on to the next one instead of building all options or what have you. Okay, and that's about done. Let's start work on some blonde hair. Now for that, let's put my glasses on so I can find myself. Let's go ahead and just use this bright ass yellow. This is War Paint's Phoenix Flames. And oh, we got some new browns since the last time we painted. Let's use one of them. That's leather brown. Where's the other one we got? Leather brown and flat earth. Let's use some flat earth. The color of flat earthers. 143. I'm not sure I know what that is. Earthers, I've certainly heard it being called, are people that are what, science deniers, I guess? I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff. Too many lies being told by everybody. I'm like, I don't want to play that game anymore. Ooh, look at this. This is what it looks like brand new. Ooh, sexy. All right. Yeah, the local Hobby Lobby always running. Yeah, the local Hobby Lobby always running a 40% off coupon. So if I go in there, if I go to breakfast with the daughter every week, assuming it's on a Saturday, and then go in afterwards, coupon, I can buy out Vallejo paints for 40% off. I just gotta do it one at a time. I may start replacing some of these. I think I got a bad batch on some of these when I bought them initially. When I bought them initially, I don't know, 15 years ago. Okay, let's go to the bigger one. We don't want to use the small detail brush unless we have to. Okay, let's do the flat earth and some black. Three lurkers. Well, don't be afraid to chime in, folks. I could use the distraction and, I'd rather be rambling about something than just sitting here quiet. And if it's a subject you guys want to know about or ask me about, by all means. I just don't get a notification when you text something. I have to look up. It's right above me here. I have to look up and see if there's a text box active, but I'll do my best to answer that. Okay, so we've got the base brown color on the hair, all right, and then we're now just gonna go ahead. Let's add some yellow to that. We're not going to add any more yellow to this. Before I get carried away, let's see what white looks like when I... Yeah, that'd be just fine. That should work just fine. Okay. Now let's take some of this blend that we have here with the lighter color. Starting to cool off a little bit. Now we're only down to like the high 80s. Okay, add some more white to this. Now we're getting just the smallest of minimums of highlighting here. Somehow these Mike's models have really big mustaches. I wonder if the sculptor had a mustache and try and have them be a somewhat reflection of him. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to do something I do not want to do, and that's pour myself some coffee. I did not want to do that. But I'm gonna have to do that because I'm fading. So I'll be right back. This soda doesn't really take me very far. We're gonna get some iced coffee. We'll bring it right back here and we'll be right back to finish up this Auxilia. All right. I got anything here? Yeah, Greg claimed it was a lot. Maybe you guys are, and it just sucking it up. I'm not really sure what causes that. I can tell you we got a lot. That isn't the issue. Right. Javelins. San Diego? What did we use on this one? Did we use black or brown? I think we used brown. We'll use black on this one. That one got a little too watery. There we go. Hey, Julian says, hi, Tony. Good to see some love for Mike's models. I have. They're Turks. Found fond of those chubby little guys. They're not bad. I mean, they're scaled not realistically, but that's really the only complaint I could see with them. I mean, they've got a lot of detail to paint. I do have some of the moguls. I got a lot of the moguls to do. So, got an Islamic Persian, not Islamic Persian, I forget exactly what it's called, an Indian Islamic army to do with them. I think they look fine. They're like tin soldier. The tin soldier figures are very odd shaped. Well, those actually, some of them, anyways. But just about everybody makes figures worth painting. You just got to find them. There's only one figure manufacturer right off the bat that I can think of that I wouldn't paint any of their stuff. But I probably will because I have some of their figures. I got them from a flea market type situation. So maybe we'll see one day how they turn out. But these older figures, absolutely. I like him getting some love. Absolutely. I like him getting some love. So. And we're going to mix these guys in because the Auxilia has these Mike's models. We got some standard Essex and, we got that one massive guy that's from museum. I mean, he's a really big dude. And I used him on purpose because, we can make fun of him. We can make fun of him. Julian, you are in New Zealand, if I remember correctly. Where it's tomorrow. The land of tomorrow. So, and in the case that I do not choose to use these guys, because this auxilia replaces the 3 solid blades. So normally I would use the 3 solid blades. But these are mandatory in the Anglo-Irish Army. So they're not wasted because the Anglo-Irish are an enemy of these guys. So just be that much closer to building for a complete army. Although I'm pretty sure that's not the next area that we're going to. So I'm pretty sure I've narrowed it down to who I'm going to use. So what army I'm going to do next after the Irish. I think what I need to do is I need to do a fancy, like this, I would call this army a boring army. Okay, a lot of peasant type guys. So this is a boring one, so the next one should be fancy, right? So you can mix it up. At least that's what I'm thinking. Correct, Wellington, closer to the weekend than you are. There you go. Two more full days, then we have the weekend. 2 more. It's winter down there, isn't it? Or it's about to be spring in the southern hemisphere. Let's bring this up a little bit. Okay. That's that for that dude. We did a brown shield, kind of a medium brown. I have no idea what emblem I'm going to do on this guy. Let's not do an emblem on this guy for now. And we'll use this lighter color. Early spring, so we get lots of northwesterly gales here. Okay, here's my stupid question. When you say something is northwesterly, is that blowing from the northwest or is it blowing to the northwest? I'm guessing it would be from the northwest. That's where it would be coming in from. Which means it would be coming from, I guess, New Guinea. Blowing from, okay, northwest, so it'd be coming from between Australia and New Guinea. Although I think New Guinea's still quite a bit away from you. They still got cannibals out there, I think. There's so much unexplored stuff there. I think they even have cannibals that live on there. Wow. In the anthropology class, our book was on this tribe called the Yamamano. The Yamamano are in the rainforest between Brazil and Venezuela. And these guys are literally running around with no clothes on. I think that they would have this little thing that they would tie around their waist and they would tie their weenie up so it wouldn't just be flapping around everywhere. But yeah, I don't want to be running through the forest and, sliding into third base without any pants on. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to feel good. But yeah, there's folks running around, in their birthday suits. Wow. No cell phone signal at all. Yeah, New Guinea used to have cannibals. Of course, New Guinea's huge. So. Oh, too wet. There we go. All right. Let's go darker than that. Yeah, that's good. New Guinea is a lot further north, still a bit of a frontier place with regards to Western civilization. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'll probably never go to that part of the world where you guys are from. It's just too difficult to get out there. Well, actually, you know what the problem is those of us in the U.S. Well, actually, you know what the problem is those of us in the U.S. we don't get a lot of days off throughout the year, and it's hard to take 2 weeks off in a row, and it's going to take at least that much to go all the way out there. So, um, I'm sure it's beautiful. It's got nothing to do with it. A civilized place that's different. We do a lot of the stuff we do a fair amount of traveling in the Caribbean. It's some of it is you know a lot less civilized than I would like it to be. But Australia, New Zealand, that's like here. So and it's really expensive to fly out there. But you can budget that. But it's very difficult to take more than a week off at a time. You'll come back and you'll want to quit your job. There's that many things to fix. There's that many things to fix. So, and I can't do my job remotely. So, good news is when I'm not at work, I don't think about work. Okay, I know what design I want to do. I just don't want to use up all the designs on all these figures that have exactly the same pose, because this one has the same pose as the next guy. You got to be mindful of that, or it's going to look really weird. Paint the backside a little lighter. Yeah, I at most only take like 1 week off at a time, and when I leave everything done. When I come back, it's a disaster. They've managed to mess everything up, so I can't imagine 2 weeks. Okay, there's that shield. We got a belt to do, and we got the little javelin points. Let's get our little mix that we have here from transferring the paint over. What the hell happened here? Oh, that little bit of paint that I have there. Well, let's get rid of that. There we go. It's like, what feels like it's catching or slimy? Yeah, there we go. Let's get rid of that before we end up putting this on something it doesn't need to be on. All right. Close that out. So yeah, just by default of painting these guys, I'm already building 3 of the elements that could be used for the Anglo-Irish, that are mandatory for the Anglo-Irish. So, because the different Irish clans, tribes, fought for on various sides of that conflict. So, depending on what day of the week it was. Okay, belt color. We've got this standard brown here. That should work just fine. You go with a thinner one on that. So I think what I was saying earlier, and I end up distracting myself, is I think I may do a scheme of an ugly and a pretty one. So in other words, you build one army that's ugly, there's just not a lot of stuff going on it. I would call these Irish ugly because they're not fancy. They're just commoners type thing. So if that's the case, then the next army I'm doing should be nice and fancy. So we may start doing that, and that way I have a mix of both. Because the one I did before this one was also a commoners. They were kind of ugly as well. So just to mix up. I like all kinds, so. As New Zealand is a law. Too bad. 4 weeks per year is a standard vacation allowance. Okay. I'm maxed out at 18 days. I've been there 26 years. So what's that? 3.5 weeks? So I get. The problem is, like this year, I've got all kinds of days I have to take off and nowhere to go with them. You know, normally what I'll do is we usually like travel 1 week and for spring break. We go somewhere for spring break. We go somewhere in November or December for a week. And my convention trips, which there's no convention trips this year, so, and we didn't take a spring break trip, so, you know, gotta try to find something hardship, so. Okay, I think this guy's done. I'm gonna send him off to the side next to the other guy. And we're gonna paint the same figure, because there's 3 of them that I put in here. Might as well paint all 3. That'll make sure that I don't paint them similarly. This guy will be, what color hair will this guy be? I don't know, but he's gonna have the same color line. This is gold brown that we're using here. This undershirt's gonna be, that's gonna be the common thread through all of it. Oh, you know what? I'm a dumbass. This is not what I should have been working on. I should have been working on fixing an Irish flag. So I got this done. This is Little Big Man Studios flag. Okay. It looks great, except that the edge here between both sides is white. So I need to repaint that so that it disappears. More awake. How about that? That's the Irish Commander Bulldog. We got to do that before the weekend, because supposedly we should be able to film and play on Monday. We'll see how that works out if not too many people show up. We're supposed to have only 3, which is good. That's a good number. So even 4 is good. 2, 3, or 4 is what we need to stick with. Or you could have more. You could have 5 or 6, but you got to use ball gags on them. So you can hear the people that are actually playing. So, oh man, let's see. Let's we do the shirt. We do the shirt first. Do you get any long service sleeve? I got an extra 2 weeks last year for completing 25 years service. The Irish flags look great. Do I get any long service leave? I got a big bonus, not big bonus, but I got an extra bonus last year for hitting 25 years there. But no, I think the standard is they give you a week, and then after the second year, they've changed it all the time. They've changed it several times, but I think the standard thing is you get a week after you've been there a year, and then after each year you get an additional day until you max out at 18 days. So it's okay. I mean, I could have more time off, but then I got to leave everything done when I go. Or that's kind of what I've done always. So if I take more days off, it's more damage control I got to do when I come back. So I don't need more time off from the standpoint of 1 day to do this, or 1 day to do that, or 1 day to do something else. It's more like, okay, we want to go to Europe. Okay. And I still want to go to my conventions. So we're supposed to go to Europe this year. We're going to do a Mediterranean cruise. So I don't know. We may never get to go to Europe. That's okay. I'll just travel around on a Google Mobile. How about that? I don't really want to go traveling anywhere if they're going to put all these restrictions from this year, like you can do this, you can't do that, you got to wear this, you can't wear that, don't stand here, don't. It's like, you know what? Screw it. Let me just stay home and work, and when we get back to normal, if we ever get back to normal, then we'll travel again. It's I don't go on vacation to suffer hardship or problems. You know, everything should go just fine on vacation. So. Um, That's why we do a lot of cruises. You go there and you don't have to worry about anything. We're actually signed up to go on a cruise in December, but I know it's not going to happen. But you got to try, or they won't do it. But even if the cruise company wants to do it, and the people are willing to go on it, I don't think the government's going to. I don't think the government's going to let it happen. But they're just kind of stringing everybody along. But I don't have any illusions that we're going to go. We'll just end up doing something else. So. No big deal. Hotels in for Historicon, the big one here in the States. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's no conventions next year either. So, hey, we're still painting. I'm painting more than I ever have. I'm still gaining on my local group. I'm healthy. What else can you do? There's plenty of work. You know, the maybe probably equivalent of like 3 years worth already. So that part of it's good. COVID has killed our foreign tourist industry here, so we will holiday locally this year. Yeah. And I don't really watch the news, but I think it seems like there's a resurgence of it. I don't know. I don't I don't see it in sight. So luckily, I don't really have to deal with that stuff on a daily basis because I don't really work around a lot of people. So I'm pretty much removed from it. Not a big deal. I don't live in a big metropolitan area. Okay, and then we can move on to the next thing, which is going to be his. He has kind of like well, it's not a shawl, but he's got like an overshirt that's tied at the waist. And we did like a brownish gray, light gray on the first one, and like a bluish light gray on that one. So this one's bound to be some kind of a light green, very, very light green, not very green. If this guy could afford expensive clothes, you could afford some shoes too. Since he doesn't have any shoes on, he's not going to be, wearing any expensive garments for sure. So, oh, Prefer the non-overhead angle. We can't see them any. Well, see if we can do something a little different. I'm not going to put it back on that tripod. It takes up like a 2 foot by 2 foot area. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but let's see if we can do something here. I'm still kind of learning with this. I really need a cameraman is what I need. The problem I had is I did a video yesterday and I zoomed in a part of it, and then I almost made the mistake of forgetting I was zoomed in and finished the rest of the battle. Luckily, nothing really happened, but let's see if this is a little bit better. And we're gonna focus on, where are we painting? Here? Let's focus there. Yeah, I got the painting thing down. What I don't have is taking pictures. I can't seem to get a miniature in focus anymore. I think what I need to do is the lights I'm using are way too bright, and I'm getting a lot of like kickback. I need to take them outside and take pictures, but it's just so freaking hot here. I don't want to spend any time outside. I got to be outside a significant amount for work, so I don't want to have anything to do with that when I'm not at work. Let's see if that's better. I can't really do anything about not seeing a miniature, because then let's see if yeah, he's here. Here he is. I should be able to give myself a little bit more light. Yeah, I try to take pictures of my guys, and it takes like 8 tries of focusing on different places, trying to mess with the light, and none of them ever come out right. I've tried everything. I'm just gonna. I think it just has to do with the light I'm using. Because any pictures I take is not what it looks like in person. They look better in person. The light is just washing them out too much. I've tried to tinker with the settings, and I don't want to. See, that's why I don't like all that technology stuff. Because if I end up working on a figure, and I'm gonna reach over here and grab a green here. If I spend a long time working on a figure, and like say I spend like 4 or 5 hours working on it, and it's slow progress, it doesn't matter, because I'm eventually getting to the end of the figure. I'm constantly making progress. But if I'm working on something technology related, I might spend three or 4 hours working on something, and it gets nowhere. That's frustrating as crap for me. I can handle slow progress. I can't handle a waste of my time. So, sometimes I'm just like, okay, I'll try it like 5 times. This is as good a picture as I'm going to get. Deal with it. I'm moving on to the next thing, because I'm here to paint figures. So, anyhow, I wish they were better, but all right. Well, now we got this color over here. So, just going to have to deal with it not being on the screen. Now let's see. Where is my pin vise? That's it. This is it. Some of these colors, just for whatever reason, are always drying at the tip, and this is one of them. Green sky. I want to say they used this thing recently. No? Not on that guy, we didn't. Okay. Yeah, it's off screen. It's over. No, it isn't. There it is. All right, let's get some black on there. Trying to export a video 6 times and it doesn't work. I'll just freaking give up. You know, while I can't use my phone, etc. You know, that stuff I can't handle. I'm not made for that. So, man, standing in place drives me bananas. Going to a theme park or something like that, I can't handle standing 2 hours in a line. I'm not going to do it. Now, if waiting 2 hours, sure, but I'm not going to stand in line 2 hours. Walking 10 miles? Come on, let's go. Standing in place for an hour? Nope. Let's see here. Just your hair when you lean in. I'm gonna have to go up there and whoop your ass. I'm doing the best I can, dude. Oh man, Tony, when is the last time you fielded Marion Romans? Wow, what's the last time I fielded Marion Romans? I don't know. I don't know. Probably when I played. It's got to be when I played against Mitch's. Um, who's that new army that he got? Mithridates. That's got to be the last time I fielded him, which was probably at least a year ago. I like that army because I hand painted all the shields and it looked really good. Now, with that said, that's the old basic scheme, which means that you guys know what I'm using now. I'm using that Liquitech stuff. But back then, I hadn't discovered that yet. And I was taking natural sand and mixing it with Elmer's glue and making didn't have as much of a grit. So when you dry brush it, it didn't stand out as much. So it looked a lot softer. And I think like the first 6 armies I did that method. So, and also at that point, I wasn't flat coating. It has a semi-gloss, which that isn't really that awesome. I just don't want to go back and rebase something. It's just not worth my time. I actually was looking through my Asian armies the other day when I really have enough to convert my Koguryo, which are a 2.2 army, into a 3.0 army. But that's going to involve rebasing all the figures, which isn't hard to do. I use epoxy and I can pop them off. I rebased my French ordnance without any problem. Not only did I not destroy any of the figures, I was able to reuse the stands. So, you know, again, it took a little bit of time, but I was able to salvage it all. But I'm not too keen on spending all that time redoing an army that I already have. I'd rather just build a new one. But the Marion Romans are a lot different now because they can have an artillery piece and so forth. So it's funny, I don't have a very good record with them. I think they're like 23-21 or something like that. They're pretty even record. They're almost 50-50. They're strong, but they don't have enough mounted. They can now. I mean, now they can have some Numidians and stuff like that. But I built them as a match pair for my arm, or I built the Armenians as a match pair for them. So that one is by far the one I have the most games with. I got over 70 games with my Armenians, my early Armenians, Book 2, 28B. And that's a fun army to play, for sure. They're all old glory figures. And that army didn't change at all from 2. If I really wanted to rebase them, I guess I could, just to make the bases look different. But At some point, you just got to say, okay, well, let's just keep moving forward, not getting pulled back into last week's news. So I've got probably 7 or 8 armies to do. I've got 31 armies, and I've got 7 or 8 armies to take from 2.2 to 3.0. So it's not really my priority, but that's the last time I used them, the Marian Romans. I don't really want to spend a lot of time on them, because if I was going to spend a lot of time on them, then I would just paint what's those new guys? Forged in Battle. Those figures are gorgeous. Oh, and I got a notification I'm on my YouTube channel. Well, no shit, I'm on my YouTube channel. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Any of you guys run an Android phone? I don't have an Apple Schnapple, none of that stuff. I got an Android phone. I got a Samsung. Shoot with them. Except for one thing. I always get this notification says Amazon has stopped working. Please shut it down. And Amazon's not on. It hasn't been on. It's happened actually. I've gotten that notification when Amazon's on, and it says, X to close it, and it doesn't even close it. It's almost like this fake thing. I've tried to uninstall it, reinstall it. I got a new phone, same thing. I don't know, just kind of an annoying little bug there. Oh well. I like paint. That's the thing with this technology thing, is like nobody can give you an answer why something is. I've done everything to try to get these live videos to 1080. Nobody can give me an answer why I can't get them to 1080. I got insane amount of upload, download. Amazon is always. You do. Samsung S10 Plus. Yeah. I went from an 8 Plus to, I actually went from a Note 2 forever to I went from BlackBerry to a Note 2, and then went to an 8 Plus, and then this is an S20 Plus Ultra 5G or whatever the hell it is. So I needed that extra RAM. And still got that stupid annoying. So you've got that annoying thing too, huh? I've looked it up online, and I don't know how people work in technology. That's got to be frustrating as crap. Well, I'm not made for it. We're not all made for the same thing. That's okay. Some people can't paint figures. Other people can't cook. Some people get lost. Life, it's a team sport. You can't play all the positions at once. Another question was, how different are 2.2 to 3.0 armies? Well, some didn't change at all. Generally the 3.0 armies, and I'm going to use this generally the 3.0 armies are better because they have more options, generally speaking. Just like 2.2 armies had more options than 1.1 armies. You can't paint or cook? Okay. I have an Android. Oh, John Peter. Man, you're up late. I have an Android. Don't know much about it. Welcome to my world. Camera, WhatsApp, and telephone. That's it. I use mine for a phone the least. I use it the most for watching YouTube, mostly. Filming, editing. I have a laptop I got in March, and I tried getting an editor for that. And the best editor I found for me is the KineMaster for the phone. It's just so easy. It's how it should be. I'm going to say it's so easy to use, and I don't want to make it sound like it's dumbed down. It's not. It's just exactly how it should be. I want to put this here. I want to extend it from this line to this. I want to drop the thing in. I want it to fit. It's exactly how it should be. The other ones are just too damn complicated. I watched a video using DaVinci Resolve. It's way too complicated. It's doing stuff that I don't need to be done. I mean, yeah, it was free, but man, my time's worth something too. You know, I don't want to spend a lot of time editing videos because that means I'm not painting. I'm not filming videos if I'm editing them. And I had to stop using. I couldn't edit videos anymore with my 8 Plus because the RAM just wasn't taking me long enough. I was trying to dumb down the videos as much as I could just so it wouldn't get hung up in exporting, because that's really the problem is not sending it out to YouTube, but actually crunching it down to a format that can be sent out. And yeah, it was struggling with that. I don't have a problem with this phone now because I've got triple the RAM. So as long as I don't get super complicated with stuff, you know, we should be fine moving forward. But I'm glad I was able to go back to using this editor because, man, I liked it. I love this KineMaster. It's $30 a year you pay for it, but it's well worth it. You have a decent selection of songs and stuff that you can put that, you know, aren't going to make YouTube freak out because it's royalty free. I mean, you can go and put other royalty free stuff too, but it's all good. That's not where I want to spend all my time on. So. Yeah, I don't know anything about the Apple phones. My wife and daughter have an Apple phone. If it rings, I don't know how to pick it up. It's weird. There's not enough buttons. I'm sure I could figure it out. We had an iPad that I used for a while, and I was fairly proficient where stuff is in there, but, you know. She had an Apple laptop that I use sometimes, and those are pretty solid, but I'll download a file, like a picture or something that I want to save for, you know, maybe an army I'm working on. I don't know where the hell it gets put. You know. And it's not that I'm too old for that stuff. It's just it's not worth learning. You know, it's not worth it. It's not worth my time learning it. Okay, I want to lighten this guy up anymore. We're done, or I'm gonna lighten up one little shade. How many six-sided? Um, I don't know that I have that many, but I was using for the longest time a die that went with the color of the army. So, like for instance, if I'm playing my Spanish, I'm using one that's red and yellow. If I'm painting that kind of thing, I did that for a little while, and now I'm kind of hooked on using the pink die, just for uniqueness. Used to be because it's like, let me use a pink die so I can mock somebody when they got just honestly just forgot about it. How many do I have? Probably not worth talking about however many I have. I may have, I don't know, 60. I don't, maybe more than that, but our local convention gives out dice when you register for them. So I think they've done that for the last, I'm going to say 10 years again. Um, I got an Arabic number one for that when I used them. I got a Hebrew one that was available. I don't have a Hebrew army yet. Um, I've got an Irish one, a French one, a German one, an English one. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna say 100, but I'm not really collecting them. Like I don't go to a store and go, "Oh, this is a cool one. Let me use it," because I don't like marbled dice. So I don't like dice that are marbled because unless you've got like black pips or it's very dark marbled, it's very difficult to see the pips then on camera and stuff. So I tend to prefer not to use those. So my opponents that you'll see in games, like they like using all these funky dice, you know, that'll have like a gator or something like that on one of the sides, and I don't use any of that stuff. I they don't pop out really well. So All right, we're going to do the flesh on this guy. All right, we had another question here. Do you follow any other YouTube painters? Um, Not lately. Because I'd rather paint than watch, and that's what I did before I was able to do live. I was watching Brain Tutor or something like that, just somebody hobby related. The problem is that we have too many choices. I mean, when we were kids, there was like one thing to watch on TV, and that's what you watched. Now it's like there's too many choices. So if something isn't awesome, after like 5 minutes, I switched to something else, and I found that I'd wake up on a Saturday morning and maybe have 3 hours to myself, and I'd spend 2 hours of it trying to find the perfect thing to watch instead of painting. So there's several people I watch on YouTube, or I'm subscribed to them, but I've stopped kind of because their content isn't any good, but just because I run into that whole situation where I'm always flipping into something else. So, you know, yeah, there's lots of really good content on there. Much better than the stuff I do. I mean, the guys who's those Little Wars guys? I mean, they spend a lot of time editing their videos. I just don't want to do that. I mean, I'd end up spending 10 times more editing the video, and I don't enjoy the editing process. Um, so, and it just, I'm here to knock out figures. I need more figures so we could do more games for you guys. So, everybody wins that direction. Um, they have a really good, they have a really good um, channel along with many others. But the problem is that I'm only interested. I have another video that's a different scale or different figures. I mean, I have a lot of lead, but I have a lot of lead that's only ancients, medieval, Renaissance, and it's only 15 millimeter, and it's only for this game. So, you know, I tend to not watch other videos for other systems, and there's not much DBA content out there other than what's on this channel. So, I mean, there is some other stuff on there, but not, not really any at all. Um, but I have looked at other videos. Like I'll be like, okay, search for sword and spear, or like, I wonder what this Mortem et Gloriam is like. And I'll watch a couple of videos on Mortem et Gloriam. Just that kind of stuff. So I do that, but I don't. The Chain of Command. I wanted to see what Chain of Command on is. The Fat Lardies have some great videos on Chain of Command. So there's some good quality stuff out there. I don't want to get spread out into all these periods and get nothing done. But yeah. But painters. There's painters out there that I'd really admire, but I don't think they have a YouTube channel. I'm sure they don't have a YouTube channel. Um, and there's a lot of guys that do really good painting, but they do fantasy. And it's like, there's some ideas that I've got from them, like using the really limited on, if I do fantasy, I'm not doing this. So, you know, um, myself and seemingly all of your viewers love the variety of action that you've grown to not. And there's just something appealing to me about watching an entire battle without a single cut. The whole thing is there in its entirety. A single cut. Um, I like the individual battles in one video, but that's like triple. If I put one video with 3 battles in it, or I make 3 separate videos. If I make 3 separate videos, I have the time where I can go in and zoom in on the figures and do the pan thing. Okay. But then I've got I feel like I need to find a song intro, which is fun to do, but it takes time. But then I've got to crunch 3 different times. So I'm like, okay, we need to keep Tony sane and make sure he doesn't burn out. So I got to switch to only one video a play session. One guy actually commented, which was a very interesting comment. He said he preferred more than one video in more than one battle in a video because he didn't know when that particular battle he was watching was going to end. I never thought of it. Well, you know when the last one's going to end because it's at the end of the damn video. But I never thought about that. That was kind of an interesting take on it, on that. The only reason I did it that way is just to make time. Like I've been dying to paint all week, and I haven't gotten a chance. It's Wednesday. I didn't paint Monday or yesterday until today. So yeah, I got to paint more often. I think last week I painted every day, and that's where I need to be. This is my therapy. Some people do yoga. I paint, so I'm not flexible at all. So armies that I don't enjoy playing in my own collection. I don't know that I have an army that I just don't like playing. There's some armies I have I can't win with. That would be the Ottoman Turks. But I like playing them and I love how they look. So that's not them. But they're just hopeless. If I had Mongols, I'd probably feel that way about them. Because they don't have a good troop mix, and DBA doesn't represent them really well. They can't play very Mongol-y with them. Armies that when you get done playing a battle with them, you don't feel like you actually move the units that they're representing is kind of a fail. And Mongols or Seljuk Turks or somebody like that with a bunch of horse archers kind of feel that same way. Scythians with DBA, they don't handle them, but it's their interaction with foot that just becomes very. It doesn't feel like you're moving around what you're moving around. I don't know if that makes any sense, but because the most of the time when I play DBA, I don't simulation. Did you actually say that? Yes, I did. It's great, but it's a game, and there's a lot of things that if I was going to write the rules, I would have done differently, and it's kind of lacking in some departments. So if I ever went crazy and there'd be definitely some things I would change so that you feel like you were committed. Feel like you get that right now. This is a chess-like type game, and for me, a lot of it has to do not with the pips, it's with the symmetry. The fact that you have to line up perfectly fighting the other guy. So, but anyways, I digress. But that doesn't mean I'll say it again, like I've said this before. 20 years from now, assuming I'm alive, I'll still be playing some DBA type game. So it'll either be 3.0 or some version that we just play of it. But I don't see that changing. There's just so much enjoyment in the decisions and that we have to make. And and if you get a raw deal in 50 minutes, it's over, and you get to do something else. If you get some matchup that you can't stand or you roll like crap, dude, it'll be over in like 50 minutes. So you don't have to worry about it. It's not like you're struggling for a long time. And if you paint an army you absolutely hate using, you never painted more than 40 or 50 figures. So, but is there any army that I just detest playing that I have? Let's see. Let's go through them. Spanish. My feudal Spanish, which was my first army. That one's not 3.0 compatible, and neither are the Berbers. I don't think there's an army I dislike that I have. I like all my Asian armies. I love my Nan Chao. Oh, you know what? My samurai are a lot of fun to play. They're still in 2.2 version, and it's not because they don't look cool. It's just they don't have a lot of troop variety, and they're not fast or anything. Seems really strange to say that my samurai are my least favorite. Yeah, they just don't have a lot. Yeah, but they're beautiful figures. They're Peter Pigs when they first came out. Um, yes, you highly agree. Multiple battle videos are my favorite. Thanks for giving a shout out to Forged in Battle. Their figures and the terrain pieces look awesome. They do. They do. Unfortunately, they showed up 10 years too late. And same thing for Kurosan. I'm not, I don't do this thing that I don't like to keep what I like to call keeping up with the Joneses. You know, you're in the middle of a project and then, oh, new figures came out for Ottoman Turks. I got to get them. You just need to be happy with what you have, because as soon as you end up doing that, there's some other company like Legio Heroica, which look even better, come up with Ottoman Turks, and then you want to buy the, you know, it's like you just have to be happy with what you have. That's why I'm perfectly happy buying these old figures. Well, not even buying them. I happen to have lots of them through flea markets. Lots of people that wanted to get the latest of the greatest, or they got out of it. And I'm fine painting these 30 or 40-year-old figures and bringing them up to their full potential. But yeah, the Forged in Battles, they're beautiful. Now, I don't care that they come in huge figure packs. The first army I did was my Feudal Spanish. I bought every pack of Feudal Spanish anybody made. It was my first 15 millimeter army I already painted. I was already experienced painter, you know, painting 20 millimeters and stuff like that. But I bought all the Old Glory packs that made Spanish and Spanish Normans. And those were back then when it was 50 figures per infantry pack. So I spent like $250 in lead for my Feudal Spanish army. But I spent 300, 250, probably 200 an hour, you know, $1 on the figures. And I got to pick whoever I wanted to. And, you know, I don't mind having extra figures. It doesn't bother me. But now all the figures I have now, I haven't really done that way. It's like, oh, you know, like last Historicon, I ended up picking up a bunch of Byzantines because they were $1 a pack. I'm like, well, I don't need them, but I'm not gonna leave them there on the table for $1 a pack. So, you know, yeah. So I'm not scared by big figure packs, but their figures do look beautiful. I know I've said it before in another video. I got half a mind to do an Anglo-Saxon morph where I can build Alfred the Great's army and the Anglo-Danes using the new Dark Ages Anglo-Saxon figures, because they're beautiful. I mean, you build one, you've got the other one with maybe adding another 4 or 5 stands, and you could do them both. You know, they're not very exciting armies because they have a lot of the same stuff, but they would look cool. You know. Yeah. You might find a DBA 3.0 Samurai more to your liking. They have them. What they have is, if you take the fast, I think they're fast spear. If the Ashigaru, I think they're not Ashigaru. They're called something else. Anyways, the Auxilia figures if you take them, you have to take them all. So it's like either 5 fast horde, or 5 warband, or 5 fast blade, or 5 fast pike. And it's not like you can mix and match those guys. And that's what makes it really sucky. But I'll probably convert them to 3.0 at some point. I'm just not really, you know, I haven't played them in any of the videos because they're still stuck in 2.2, but they're beautiful figures. I think they turned out really well. So, okay, Rick says, here's a question I've had for a while. When you set out to do a new army, do you paint up the figures for a bunch of the different variations that army allows, or do you just get enough figures? I just usually, in the past, I've just basically figured how I'm going to run them, and that's how I'm going to build them, and I only build them one way. Now I'm doing different versions because we're doing a lot of you know, I played DBA for 6 years, 7 years before I had somebody I could play every week with. Now that I play every week and we're doing videos, we want to do like Saloy silliness. So we might, you know, I'm looking for armies to build that you could dumb down, or then with an ally, you can bulk them up, but it's still the same ally. And that's what I'm doing with these Irish. The Irish are basically a really weak army, but you can bulk them up by using allies or what have you. So that's what I'm looking for, and I'm not going to build every single option for this Irish. Like, I'm not building the pike general, okay, and I'm not building the second pike, Well, they can have a pike general and an additional pike and the two more pike that I have. I'm not building those options at this time because I don't have a pike general figure that I want to use. Like, there's not a guy that stands out for me, and that I'm not going to build them that way. But I'm building these Auks, and I'm probably not going to use them most of the time. They're going to use the Gallo Glass guys that are the solid blades most of the time. But I figured if I build these guys, I can use these as part of the core of the Anglo-Irish army, which are enemies of them. And eventually I would get around to... And then when I do build them, I only have to build 9 more elements for the Anglo-Irish because I already have these 3 built. So it's trying to do that double use and stuff that I'm kind of a little bit more interested in now. So in other words, I don't go and say, okay, well, I'm going to build another army that can fight the Irish next, because I don't want to. I want to spread around in different areas so that I can paint different looking stuff. You know, I'm not going to turn around and do the Anglo-Irish next. Just flat out not going to do that because it's painting a lot more of the same type of things that I already painted. But I am building more options that an army can be run than in the past, where I just basically like, I'm never going to run them with these guys because I'm never going to use them. So hopefully that answers your question that you've been holding on to for a while. But no, before I didn't do it. I didn't do it before. Now I'm doing it because we're shooting specific videos. And some of those wimpy armies and stuff like that, wimpier versions of the army, are actually make better games than playing opens. Because for the most part, when I first started playing, anybody ever ran was basically an open event. Or an event where it might be themed, but it might be like, enemies of Rome, but you don't have to have a certain amount of a certain unit. You just take whatever the strongest. You're playing a limited open event. But now we're doing all kinds of theme stuff, making things wimpier, so, and so forth. So, when is the last time you had your camp taken? All right. I needed a break anyways. I'll tell you. Not only will I tell you, I'll tell you exactly when it was and who I was playing. Boot up the laptop. So I keep track of all my records. I'll take a little break here anyway, so we're gonna close this up here. And we're gonna have to switch. It's gonna go dark here in a second. I have a laptop that I got that has a touch screen. Like, it was behaving weird. I couldn't figure out what it was. Nobody could tell me what was wrong with it. And I finally, after like a month of it happening, thought there was something messed up with it. It was because it was too close to my painting light. I was having issues with it. So, all right. A little bit of a break anyways, maybe wake up a little bit. Although you guys did a pretty good job of waking me up. It's hard. I've been up since I think I got live. Let's see what we got here. I better move this water. Water and a computer doesn't mix. All right. Let me pull this thing up. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I keep track of all my records because luckily I did it early enough. But assuming I can get to my email. I email it to myself frequently. I'm the world. Let's see if I can access this here. I may not be able to do this. Let's try it this way. The only place I can't access my email is on my laptop. Let's try it this way. Yes, keep me signed in for 2 weeks. All right, we're good. We're in here. Tony win-loss. I still need to populate this with the scores from the other day. Okay. Yeah, I gotta populate it with some scores from the other one, so. All right. Let's see if we can show off my losses here. All right, let's see if we can get this pointed in the right direction. I'll do the best I can. I'm not sure that I'm going to be successful doing this. So I've got basically all my stats here. Win-loss record is with all the armies and who I played, the date, where it happened, what army I used, what the enemy army was, who my opponent was, whether I won terrain, whether I won the battle, how many units I killed, how many units I lost. Okay, and I've got 985 wins and 822 losses, 1 draw. So it's a win percentage of 0.544. So, and remember, this is from the beginning of time. So I got my ass kicked a lot at the beginning. And lately, I got a 9-game losing streak until recently. It happened. So, okay, last time a camp was done. So I got to look at a score here that involves my score of units killed with a C in it. It's probably a while ago. Most of the people I play, I don't leave it undefended. And most of the people I play don't really use that as a ploy to. Okay, here's one. Is a Wimp War game at Historicon 2019. I was using the early Ostrogoths, so that's the guys that have 6 Soloi and 6 knights, and I won against David Sheps. He was using the Lithuanians, and the score was 4G to 3C. So I lost 3 elements in my camp, but I killed 4 elements and a general. So yeah, that was the last time. Yeah, Dave Sheps likes to go after camps. I don't. I don't mind threatening them because then your opponent has to play into your hand. But I tend to not take them, and I tend to not have them taken as well. They're only worth 1 loss now. So in 2.2, they used to be worth 2. Now they're only worth 1. So you don't want to change your entire battle plan for a sacrifice of only 1 unit. Now let me see what my previous camp was before that. Okay, here we go. Historicon the previous year, armies and enemies of the Crusades. My Ottoman Turks against the Teutonics. Who did I play against? David Shell. Hello. You need me right this second? You need to give me 3 minutes? Okay. All right. Yeah, so Ottoman Turks, I lost, go figure, right? Instead of a W. Well, we'll have to change that later. Probably. My win percentage is a little bit better then. That's just terrain. That doesn't really matter. David Sheps, yeah, I lost terrain, and of course with an aggression 4. Of course, he had aggression 4 as well, and I lost the game 1 to 4C. So I got 4 elements killed and lost a camp. Yeah, pretty much got hosed. David Sheps. So David Sheps is the camp guy. just like our local player Scott is the river dancer. He likes to put down BUAs and rivers and all that kind of stuff that slows games down. He likes to do that. Now let me see before then. But that's why I do this because hindsight's only look at that. Look at that. So Historicon the year before that, Dark Ages tournament, I played my Nan Chow against David Sheps. I won the game 4-2C. So he took the camp again. So he's the camp taker. See a pattern here. See if I can find another one. I see the pattern. The thing about going after somebody's camp is you got to defend your own. So you can't just do like this long strike at somebody's camp. You got to have yours defended as well. And generally, if you put your camp towards the middle of the battlefield, you've got guys that you're going to set up in front of it. So it's not like it's lit. You're leaving it all defended. Okay, now we're into 2014 when we didn't even use 3.0. Okay, here's another one. A Diadochi tournament at September 2014. I ran my Ptolemaic against a Graco-Bactrian by Richard Goss, and I lost that game 3-3C. So he took my camp there. That's when we were playing 2.2 plus. Let's see. Not that often. As you can see, there's many games as I've played, and that's the only ones that have come. And now we're into like 2011. When I didn't start. Oh, here's another one. Um, Song Chinese Midnight Madness. Wow. Yeah, Midnight Madness. I lost the first round. I played my Song Chinese and lost to the Vikings, run by some guy named Ben Hatch. I don't remember who he even is. Yeah, I lost that game 3-2C. See, back then it was worth a camp was worth 2 elements. So yeah, Vikings. They probably just pushed on me. My Song Chinese. They got a lot of bows, so Vikings would just push in and sorry. That's 2011. That was at King of Prussia. That was the second year it was at King of Prussia. The final year it was there. Sorry, Ben, if I don't remember you. You didn't. Hey, at least you weren't very memorable. Sometimes when you're memorable, it's because you have a bad experience with somebody. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break here. The daughter's calling me and has something important to tell me, so I'll be right back, folks. And we'll get a refill on the way. Okay, folks, well, that's a wrap. We got to do some family stuff, and I might be on a little later. It's still kind of early, but yeah, so the camp is that's the camp. I don't usually get a camp taken very much, so oh man, let's get to camp. Well, let's check the record books exactly. Wow, the last time the camp was taken still end up in victory. Yeah, good old early Ostrogoths. Yeah, baby. Isn't that something? Historicon back-to-back years with camps taken. Same player. That's what he does. Isn't Historicon unless a camp gets taken? Wow, your win-loss record with camps taken is actually more wins than losses. Yeah. So about 5 camps lost in the last decade. Sounds like your camps are relatively safe places to be. Absolutely. Yeah, they really are. I don't, I'm not retarded. I don't not defend it, but I also don't go after it. When I come back, I'm going to do the same thing, and we're going to look and see what the record is of me on the offense taking camp. So anyhow, we'll catch you guys later and for some more painting. See ya.